Hey, T-Sauce, Oliver here. My argument essay for the civil rights is teenage suicide and how it's a civil rights issue. It is an increasing statistic since when it was first recorded in 1950, and according to Statista.com, the suicide rate among men out of 100,000 in 1950 was 21.2 and 5.6 for women, averaging that 13.4 of the general teen population's 100,000 perished due to suicide. This number has been decreasing for a very long time, and with great strides, and by 2000, the average was at an all-time low of 10.9 per 100,000. But in the past decade, this number has been on a rapid increase and is currently at 14.25 as of 2017. This is an issue not based on emotional states, but more of a civil rights issue, and technology and social bring-up is the biggest factor of convincing a teen to commit suicide. About 75% of the world's population today has been in the teenage state of life at one point, and it has been claimed by Britannica that the teenage state of life is the hardest point in humans' life. And with access to technology today, it allows insecure and persuaded teens to be bullied online at a much higher rate of bullying ever. Having known that the statistic for suicide is much higher than ever, and that bullying is still a leading cause for suicide, what can we do better? Muron and his colleagues suggested a litany of factors that have contributed to the increase of reported youth suicides, including high rates of depression and anxiety, unprecedented levels of social media use, and a greater willingness of families and officials to acknowledge suicide as a cause of death. That was from the LA Times, written on June 18th in 2019. And that was actually one of the main inspirations for my article, because I remember reading that. With this online world we now live in, technology plays a major part in research and social outreach to people globally. So an often asked question is, how can we limit cyberbullying and unwanted online criticism and not revoke people's online rights? I believe that there's a very simple solution solved by not the kids who are being bullied, but by the kids who are bullies. Don't. There's some engines that are being developed that ban people based off of profanity that's recognized over voice chat. And for social media, there are chat blockers that most teens should use when in an uncomfortable situation. But don't. To the people who are bullying online, the backlash should also be directed to parents. Kids are influenced majorly by their parents, and although most parents at this time did not grow up with internet and technology like what we have today, but as they learn, they should teach their kids about inappropriate things online and how they should be avoided. Pretty simple. Along with online safety and how emotionally stressing social media can be, we have a primary story to parents who lost their 14-year-old girl to suicide. The only thing that we did find was on social media, which invited people who were depressed into a club, he said. It invited people who may have been self-harming into a club. It normalized those behaviors. It just said time and time again, I'm a lost cause, you're a lost cause, join our club. And I do think she had a sense of complete worthlessness at the end of her life. Parents of teens who died by suicide hope. The title of that article was Parents of Teens Who Died by Suicide Hope Speaking Up Will Prevent More Deaths. As this example proves, some teens are insensitive, and as gullible as teens can be, I'm no exception. No one's an exception. This is also a civil issue. Now, there's a couple of ways I can see fixing this. We could probably limit teen social media. When I'm frustrated, I like to take the Ethernet cable out of my computer, turn off my phone, and I go outside. Surprise, because I'm a little chonky. Another solution, more effective to a typical teen today, accept criticism. Bullying is never okay, and never will be, but it will always be hard to limit. When it is controllable by parents teaching kids and bullies their proper etiquette, there will always be exceptions. You should try learning an instrument, maybe. I've done that. I've learned multiple instruments, and it's sometimes just out of frustration. Post it online. That criticism isn't live, and it shows your progress. There are ways to fix teen suicide, and you can help.